Hi, this is Stacy with Lily Bean Crafts by Stacy. Welcome back. And if it's your first time, thanks for stopping by. So I decided to start the holiday tumbler season with creating a piece with my favorite colors. My absolute favorite Christmas colors are teal, red, and white together. So I am starting with a 14-ounce curved tumbler, coffee tumbler that I got from the Tipsy Magnolia, which I will have linked in the description. And I went outside and I spray painted it white, got it all prepped and ready, and now I'm just going in with my glitter glue and I'm going to do a full coat of glitter on this. I'm going in with Girl's Best Friend, which is like a super sparkly white to silver shift from Rae Creations. And I'm gonna go ahead and get full coverage on this, put it off to the side, let it dry for 4 hours. Now I'm going in with another coat of my glitter glue. I'll put this off to the side, let this dry for another 4 hours, and then get some epoxy on here. I am super excited that I got my hands on some of the new Flynn Sisters Fast Set Epoxy. I also got some of the new Artist Cure Epoxy, which I will talk about later in the tutorial. But this new Fast Set Epoxy from Flynn Sisters is amazing. It's a lot thinner than the old formula. The bubbles pop right away. It has a lot longer work time. It's absolutely fabulous. And you can use discount code LBC10 to save 10%. To get some of this to try it. So I'm going in with my first coat. I went in with 20 mLs of the Fast Set, and I will say that it lasts a little bit longer. It has more of a stretch to it than the last one did. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this fully covered, let it spin for about 2 hours, and then I'm gonna go in with another 10 mLs of it and let that spin for 4 hours, and then we're gonna start working on the peekaboo. I just love gingerbread and candy canes and peppermints together. So on Creative Fabrica, I found some gingerbread men that I made some offsets with, and I also got some peppermints and some candy canes, and I'm using my stencil vinyl, and I just went and just picked a size. In fact, I think there's like 2 different sizes that I'm gonna be working with, and I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different here. So what I'm doing right now is I took off the main gingerbread and I just set that off to the side because I'll be using it in a little bit. And I just wanted to put the stencil on here. And I'm going to take some alcohol ink. I started off with Tim Holtz's Latte, and I just put some on a paper towel and dabbed it on here. I just wanted to see what it would look like for me to try to make the gingerbread color without using glitter, with just using white glitter and just changing it. So I started off with Latte, and then it just wasn't dark enough, so I switched over to Caramel, and that's what I'm gonna go ahead and use for this. So like I said, I was just using the stencil vinyl to kind of give me a range of size because I'm going to be keeping the peppermints and the candy canes white. So you're gonna see me do this with a couple of them. And then I finally get to the point where I decided to just make the alcohol inks a little bit bigger than what the stencil vinyl was calling for, just in case when I put the outline on that it didn't quite go all the way to the end, and I just wanted to make sure. And I kind of knew exactly how big I needed it to be at that point in time. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. Once I have them all set where I want them to be, now I'm going to go ahead and take the actual stencils that I have of it that I weeded and get that on here and get this set for me to go and get it spray painted. With the peppermints and the candy canes, I also just kind of selected a size that I thought would work good for it, printed them out, and I'm just going to go ahead and put these directly on here because like I said, I want to keep these white. I'm gonna take some painter's tape and tape off the handle. I really love the white glitter coloring of the handle, so I wanted to go ahead and keep that for the entire look of this tumbler. I then took it outside and I spray painted it with Rust-Oleum's Seaside in the gloss, and I let that completely dry, and now I'm just going in and weeding all of my stencil vinyl off of here. And now that I've got it all weeded, I'm going to go ahead and remove the painter's tape off the handle and then get this ready for epoxy. I really love how the gingerbread men look like actual gingerbread color. And that's exactly what I was going for. So now I'm going in with 10 mLs of my fast set epoxy. I'm gonna get full coverage on here, making sure that I really take time to get the handle really well. I'm gonna pop any bubbles, and then I'm gonna go in and add a little bit of dimension with a little bit of glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and add my favorite Christmas glitter. This is Winter Mint from Rae Creations. It is my favorite chunky blend. It has all of my favorite colors in it. It's got the red, teal, and the white. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of space this sporadically all over the tumbler. Say that 3 times. And then once I have it on here, I am going to stop my spinner and move it off of any of the gingerbread or the peppermints. I don't want it to be in that. Plus, I also moved any of the pieces that kind of congregated on top of each other. This is where I said it's great that this new epoxy has a lot of life to it, because I was able to get this all moved without messing up any of the epoxy. I let it spin for probably like 5 or 6 hours, made sure that it was completely dry. And then now I'm going in with my outlines. I am using this red holographic vinyl that I got from Amazon, which I will link in the description. And I love it because it gives such a little sparkle to the red, which really makes everything pop just a little bit more. And I'm just gonna go ahead and take my time and just get it placed all around the tumbler. And it all lines up really well. And like I said, the gingerbread color really came out well. So once I have this all on, we will move on to the next step. I had accidentally printed out the wrong size candy cane, so I went back in, printed them out, I'm weeding them, and then I'll go ahead and get these applied. Now I'm going to go ahead and I just use white permanent vinyl to weed out the gingerbread men's body, and I'll just go ahead and use my transfer tape and get this applied to all of the little gingerbread men. Now I'm going to go on with my final 2 coats of epoxy. This is another 10 mLs of my fast set epoxy here. I let this spin for about 5 or 6 hours. I sanded it down really well. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my final 10 mLs of the new Flynn Sisters Artist Cure resin on here. I didn't think it was possible for any epoxy to be any more shiny than the last one, but this one is even more shiny, which is absolutely wonderful. I did let this spin overnight, so probably 10 to 12 hours. And then now I'm going in and I'm making my drip. Now when I do drips, I do like to use fast set. I also like to add a little bit of cornstarch to it. So I did put 7.5 mLs of part A and part B, mixed them together. Once it was mixed all up, I put a little bit of cornstarch in here to start the thickening process. Plus I like how it changes the color. And then what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to put in some white epoxy dye, which I do get from Amazon, and it is linked in my description. And once I get this all turned white, I'm just going to kind of set it off to the side and keep checking on it. And when it reaches the correct thickness, which takes about 20 minutes with this particular fast set, we'll go ahead and start getting that drip on. Once I have this all white, I'm actually going to take some of my white enhancing powder, which I got from Nicole Sutherland, which I will go ahead and link in the description. I just wanted to give it a little bit of a shimmer. I didn't want the shimmer to like overpower it because it's going to be going on the white handle, which is super sparkly, but I just wanted to add a little bit of shimmer to it. So once I get it the way that I like it, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of babysit it. And the reason why I like to use fast set is because it only takes about 20 minutes to set it up. And I just am very impatient. So now here it is, it's nice and thick. It's been about 20 minutes and I'm just going in with like a thick pair of a wooden spoon here. And now that I've got that, I'm just gonna kind of like put it on pretty thick so that it starts to drip a little bit. I want it to have a little bit of movement to it. But then what I'm gonna do is every couple of seconds, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over so it doesn't completely take over the tumbler. That is one thing that I struggle with drips, is I have a tendency to not let it get thick enough, and then it winds up dripping down so far that it kind of ruins the look that I'm going for. I wanted it to look thick and chunky and really creamy, and that's what you really get with the fast set. And one thing that I am terrible about is I will babysit this for like the next hour and a half. I'll just carry it around with me, flipping it up and down until I'm sure it's done. But this is the finished product. I love how it turned out. The drip is exactly how I wanted it to be. You could add embellishments to it. I really just wanted to leave it as it was. And if you like this tutorial, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see everybody again next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.